There's some interesting revelations in the Pew Internet study called Living to 120 and Beyond: America's Views on Aging, Medical Advances, and Radical Life Extension. Love that, radical life extension. Many do not look happily, actually, on living much longer lives. They do not think it's for themselves, but they do think it might be for others. And the little nuance there is they think particularly it would be for the wealthy, because I guess they perceive that the wealthy will be able to pay for all the whiz-bang medical advances that will be available. But overall, people are optimistic. In the 65 plus group, two-thirds expect their lives to be better. 57% say they don't worry too much or worry at all about aging. Most people are optimistic that scientific breakthroughs will actually do things like cure cancer by 2050, and they view medical advances as generally good. More do not prefer radical medical changes that would allow people to live to 120. Robotics and all kinds of different things that are being tossed about. Obviously, the technology is going to progress to allow some of this, but the question is, do you want it? I found it a little bit encouraging that people don't want some of the radical stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't avail yourself of what's out there, but what I have found is that we become, and it's part of the platform of this blog, educated aging, physical health, emotional health, financial health, is that we've become so dependent on the healthcare system that we're somewhat abdicating our own self-responsibility for our health. So if this makes people pause and want to take better care of themselves on their own without the aid of all these other things, the medications, the prosthetics, the robotics, whatever it might be, I think that's encouraging. And I think then if the time comes where you need some of these things, it might be appropriate for some people, but not to the point where we deliberately wear ourselves out and say, hey, there'll be something else to take care of me, so why should I worry about it? So kind of interesting. People don't want to live too long. But they want to live long enough, and they're very optimistic about living longer. I do think there is some caution around this because I think people have to be realistic about, particularly about their financial needs as they live longer, and also about their emotional needs, having purpose after work, and as some of your social network passes on, making sure you revitalize that with other people, because being around people and this whole social fabric of community is so important in aging with a quality of life. There's so much that goes into it, much of which we talk about here, beyond just the medical and our physical health.